Post. Ah, shit. Fuck. I forgot to change the thing. I haven't done that in a while. Okay, hold on. Let's do... Analyzing Tomodachi music. Nice and straightforward. Let's do music. Boop. Yay, done. Okay, should be fixed. Yes, yes. I think that's good. Okay. So that's good. Let's refresh this. It's always like this. Let's do that. Wunderbar, wunderbar. Let's try this. Let's do this. Okay. I think we are good, I hope. Yes. Alright, let me doodle. What should I draw? But for now, at least. Let's do... Flawless Mario. There we go. Very nice. And let's do... There you go. Oh, my poor child. No. Yahoo. H? Ryan? That's wrong. Let's just do this. There you go. Perfect. Wonderful. Everybody happy. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Whoop. There we are. Very nice. Okay. I think we're good. Perfect. Let's get rid of that. All right. Tomodachi life. Yay. So as everyone knows, potentially, hopefully, maybe, I have been playing Tomodachi Life, just like everybody else. I mean, it's kind of old. I guess it came out 2 months ago, but I want to do... I want to analyze some music from it, because it's pretty cool. How are the levels, by the way? I can just check it myself. Let me just double check that real quick. Seems good to me. Sure. Okay. I'll take it. But anyway, so I guess to just like intro it. So Tomodachi Life, I have not specifically played any of the games prior to this new one. So this actually, I can just let's play it and turn it down myself. So the one that everyone knows, Tomodachi Life, that has 685,000 views. That is one that I never played. However, I listened to the soundtrack of both. I listened to Tomodachi Collection, Tomodachi Life. Those soundtracks are fantastic. It's because they're being helmed by some killer talent. There's Daisuke Shiba, who has done a lot of music in the past for Nintendo. Things like like this. Here. Anyone remember this one? I'm gonna analyze this thing on the stream. Anyway, so Daisuke Shiba did that, and I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna analyze that at the end of the stream. Who else was involved with Tomodachi Life? I know that I think Asuka Ito, I think it is, who's done a lot of work, I believe, for oh my god, so many games. I think of Mario Kart 8. I think some of the Mario series. Like she's very prolific. From my understanding, neither of them who have had a hand, I believe, in the first two. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that they did not contribute to this soundtrack. And I think we have Toru Minegishi on the soundtrack. Let me actually double check that real quick. Tomodachi Life. There's a couple people who I'm not super familiar with. It's like a team of 3. Interesting. Okay, I'm kind of wrong. So it primarily consists of Shinobu Nagata, who did the work on Animal Crossing series and Luigi's Mansion. Sweet, hell yeah. Reika Nakai and Kairi Hamada, with additional music and sound direction provided by Toru Minegishi, who I assume is probably kind of more in the Splatoon realm, because that's like where he's at. But sorry, my throat. But yeah, it's very interesting. In comparison, you've been hearing the Mii Maker song play for just a tiny bit, and it obviously has like a stripped down version, or a stripped down sound to it, like stripped down instruments, like all that stuff, because it's on the DS, and you know, that has a very specific sound, just basically due to the limitations of it. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, that has a very specific sound to it. Now, Tomodachi Life for the Switch, if we're going to transition over here, obviously, not just higher sound quality and all that stuff, but like feels a little cleaner. It still captures the soul. It's actually very reminiscent for me of the Animal Crossing New Horizons soundtrack, which is, I feel, somewhat divisive amongst music people and maybe potentially even regular people, but that might be bias coming through. Yeah, so I like it personally. I have no attachment to the originals, so it's fine. But yeah, I think let's just get started and see what happens. We're gonna do the title theme. All right, let's see how the volume is. Testing, blah blah blah. Seems okay. How's this? Okay, I think we're chilling. Sweet. Yahoo! Alright, let's get started. Enough fucking around. See, there wasn't much to, like, draw, because this game doesn't really have a mascot. Usually I put on, like, Pikmin music, and all that good stuff, but, so I draw, like, Pikmin. And I draw, like, little funny Pikmin stuff, or, like, Kirby, but, like, there's no mascot for Tomodachi Life other than, like, what? Hugh Morris? Alright, let's do... Oh, let's loop this also, just to make sure that we... Okay, Alrighty, here we go! Let's do this. Let's do title theme, how about that? Well, we need to draw something to put in the top right. Am I gonna be boring and just write the... You know what? I'm drawing Hugh Morris. I'm drawing Hugh Morris. Who is Hugh Morris? Okay. This is... I'm not gonna take too long on this, but I just wanna have... I always put a little thing on the top right to signify the game. Let's do... Boop, and then... Oh, this is gonna be scary. Oh, this is gonna be so scary. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is just the worst thing in the world. Okay, alright. Yeah, no, this is just awful. And then it's like a little boop, and then boop, boop, and then like a little... Boop, 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 and then like a whoop, and then whoop, and then a whoop. Yup. And then we got here, and then we got here, and then we got here, and then there. That is like horrible. So now we're just gonna have to deal with that. There you go. Easy peasy. Could not have been drawn better. Yay. I might be able to analyze music, but boy oh boy, my drawing skills are... One day we'll get better, but today is not that day. Okay, that's great. Yay! Alright, let's do this. Alright. Nope, kill that. Here we go. Let's start with the form, shall we? Boop. So we can help count and visualize. We will do this. Cool. All right, it's go time. Title theme. Let's do this. Is there an intro? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The intro is 2 bars. Very nice. Let's mark that down. Alright. And then let's count, shall we? Yahoo! Here we go. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Okay. Let's make that longer then. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B. 2, 3, 4. Is this too slow? 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, we have an irregular thing at the end. I assume this loops, yes? It sounds like it loops. Yes, it 100% looped. All right, let's count. How are we gonna count this time signature? I think that's like a 3 or a 5. Let's go from here. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, so I guess it's just 2, 4. But it's weird. It's very weird. That's an interesting hiccup. I am interested to see how that's gonna play into things. So that's 2, 4. So let's do plus 2, 4. There you go. Cool. And then it loops. So let's do Sweet. Sounds good to me. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now let's stitch this. Let's get started on the harmony. So Tomodachi Life, generally speaking, has that kind of very classic Nintendo sound, both in terms of instrumentation and like harmony, and melody, and stylistically, that is just like what it is. Let me try to move this up a little bit so we have room for the harmony. I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna need to do another page, but that's fine. Yeah, it has a very, very, I wouldn't say stereotypical sound, but I feel like it aligns pretty perfectly with other Nintendo style music that you imagine. I will say it's got like, I think to match the game's identity, it has a lot, and this isn't academic whatsoever, but it's got like kind of a quirkier vibe. I feel like a lot of other Nintendo music has that kind of like very relaxing muzak kind of situation going on. But with Tomodachi Life, I feel like the composers know what the game is. It's not like 3DS settings music where it's just super ambient and pretty and nice, and it's there to just like be nostalgic, like kind of give this like very pleasant backdrop. It's got more energy than that. And because of that, it kind of makes it kind of unique in its own way. In the realm of Wii music, or like Wii styled kind of stuff, right? And so yeah, it's really kind of interesting because it is distinct enough, at least to my ears, from Animal Crossing, from system music, from all of that. And frankly, I think a lot of it is due to the initial Tomodachi Collection sound. Unless you are Luigi's Mansion, where Kazumi Totaka did Luigi's Mansion and then the following sequels just completely abandoned that style. Still salty about that. Unless you're that, most of the time, series, not just games, but with anything, tends to be directly informed and inspired by its initial its like first installment. And so with the first installment being very similar to this, but just kind of like upping the energy of it, again, Daisuke Shiba's kind of work, I think it makes sense that like it keeps to this style. It's just cleaner, it's just a little more polished, all that good stuff. You lose something with that, but it's definitely more accessible, so I'll take it, you know. Let's see if we can start analyzing here. What is the intro? All right, piano time. Okay, we are in the key of E flat major. Let's do these. So we are gonna do traditional harmonic analysis, which I hate, but we're gonna do it because it is helpful to understand how music works. Sometimes. We are in the key of E flat. Yay. Sweet. So we have if we're here, okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, very classic, kind of, I wouldn't say classic opening, but like just classic progression. We have A flat to B flat to E flat. Now, if that doesn't mean anything to you, that's why I do harmonic analysis. So we're gonna do that right now. Let's do, yeah, A flat, B flat, and then we do A. Okay? Pretend there's like a dotted line like that. You know what I'm saying? I can just leave it, actually. Never mind. I'm just going to leave that. So we have the 4 and the 5. And then we go to E flat, which is the 1. So, right off the bat, I feel like with every song, in general, every single song has to like, how do I describe this? Every song has to explain and introduce its tonal center. Not every song, but many tonal songs have to say like, we're in this key. Sometimes they'll be extremely literal about it, right? Sometimes they'll do like, right? Something like that. They start off with the key that you're gonna be in for the entire song, right? Oh, yeah. E flat. That's where we're at. Some songs, like this song, will not start on the 1 to establish its tonal center. Sometimes they will start on chords that are outside of the 1. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5 is pretty common to start. Right? And then that's like a 5 to a 1. Classic cadence, that's a whole thing. Sometimes the 4. Right? Whatever. You know, blah, blah, blah. In this case, very easily, we got the 4. The 4, the 5, the 1. So that is what is happening. Very short, very simple, nothing super duper complex. And I believe this song, in terms of like harmonic simplicity, or in harmony, it feels fairly simple, and I think that's by design, because the next track we're going to analyze after this, which is the Mii Maker theme, it has a lot more going on when it comes to the harmony and like what its purpose is. This is not only the title theme, which is obviously like a really, really big deal, right? Like, it's going to be used in trailers and promotional material and all that stuff. So like it has to be super, super, like, you know, strong in terms of its composition. Not just that. It is also, as you can see on the little thing on my web browser, title theme / Afternoon on the Island. So it doubles as the theme itself for the entire game, plus a core theme for the game itself. It's doing 2 jobs at once, which makes this song even more important to get right. And because of that, whether this was intentional or not, I don't know. But regardless, this track has to be accessible. It has to be approachable. It has to be easy to swallow. And because of that, even though you can still make things really interesting, there's plenty of songs that are extremely important and extremely loopable, that maintain interest. Title themes, classic title themes that are really interesting and rich and have depth in them. I'm thinking of like Ocarina of Time. That has it's incredibly melancholic and cinematic. And if they wanted to be kind of boring and accessible about it, then they would do something a lot more upbeat and a lot more probably reprising the original theme. They didn't do that, so that there are different ways to approach this. But with this, I think they just went for a very palatable, easygoing, this is the vibe of the game. It's unmistakable just from this initial track. So if we listen again, yeah, this is gonna be. Let me bump it up a tiny bit, I think, just because my air conditioning just popped in. Okay, just a bit. Super duper simple. All right, you know what? Let's just analyze it as we're listening to it, shall we? We're in the key of E flat. Also, let me pull up. How am I gonna do this? Hold on, I have an idea. Buh. Nope, never mind. It's fine. Just imagine a piano. Okay, here we go. Here we go. E flat. A flat. F minor. E flat. I assume this repeats. A flat. F minor. Slight variation, but it's basically the same. And the same E flat. A flat, that's the 4. The minor 2, F minor, E flat. A little sneaky. You expect that to be the start of a new section, but nope. Again, slight variation. All right, let's stop it there. So there's a few things going on with this track in particular. Number one, it uses 4 chords, and 3 of them are different. So it is stupid simple. I will say I am kind of glad analyzing this that we have the E flat, right? Dun, dun, dun. 1 to 4, very, very common, not super challenging or anything. It's just simple, approachable. And then we kind of go to the 2, which is a little odd, because, it's not the most crazy thing in the world to go down to the 2, but it's a little uncommon, and it kind of adds the slightest bit of tension, just because you're oh, that's weird. And my brain, as a musician, goes, oh, you're gonna do a 2-5-1. You're gonna do a, right? and then it doesn't go to the 5 at all. It just goes straight from the 2 to the 1. Which, like, you would think that feels like a little, like, you're kind of being scammed. you would think that feels like, oh, okay. I thought that would be a little more satisfying than that. At least again from a, like, just a personal musician perspective, I'm like, oh, you got the 1, the 4, and then you go to the 2, and you're expecting some kind of like, but no, it just goes to the 1. And the reason why it works is because I think it's doing a few things in terms of transitions that help it a lot. So let's listen back again. Let's see here. Just the first instance of it. Let's just reset. Okay, we got the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, A. This is the 1, the A flat, the minor 2. It's kind of weird, or just the 2, I guess. So here's what it's doing to make it interesting. There is a secret little chord right in between. That's just a passing chord. So we have our basic stuff. You could argue keyframes. Hey, animators. You have your E flat, your A flat, F minor, back to E flat. Easy peasy. There's a secret chord in between that 2 and 1. Let's see what it is. So that's fun. Hold on. Let's analyze it. What is it? Yes. This is what I like to see. So, I believe this doesn't happen every time. Let me confirm. Repeating. Alright, it did it again. Let's see if it does it again. A flat, F minor. Did it again. Okay. One more time. I'm assuming 3 out of 4 is going to turn into 4 out of 4. Let's see what happens. Yep. Happened again. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm putting it in there. We are putting D flat 7 in there. Let's use the, let's use the erasure. Let's turn this shit down. Boo. Okay. And then E flat. Boop, 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 boop. Right? We can do better. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. That is, oh boy, flat 7, 7. Yeah. Oops. And then the 1. Okay. Let's do this. So, the reason why this is cool and interesting is because what I was saying before about the 4 chords being very, very simple and straightforward. Oops. That's what it is, right? I think in order to keep the slight amount of harmonic interest, they add this D flat 7 chord to transition into the 1. Right? Not only is it just to maintain interest, like all that good stuff, that's like cool and all, but it's fast enough so that your brain doesn't super duper register that something kind of a little out there is happening. Because it's like, that's an out there change. I I mean, it's nothing crazy, but like it's still like it's in the key, but it's like a little wacky. It's not a common. You would expect a 5, right? Fuck. There you go. Right? You would expect a 5. Okay. Please hold. Delete you. Thank you. Okay, great. But it's cool. It's a really cool change, and it just happens just in a small little instance. But I think what it does, naturally speaking, bot be gone. Hi, by the way. What it does naturally is, I think to the average listener, here. Side note, I'm gonna move on after this because I don't want to spend too much time on this. I have this song, another song, and then it would be nice to analyze one more after that. So, can't spend too much time. I think composers love to psychoanalyze the listener in kind of funny, ego-y ways. You know, there's a lot of like, oh, you have to plant the seeds of a motif, plant the seeds of a melody. You have to make sure that the melody is like reincorporated so that the listener, it's all psychology, repetition. People like repetition, and like that kind of thing, right? Like there's a whole bunch of stuff. And so if I would like to psychoanalyze the listener for this specific track, I think I would go, just keeping these simple chords, or like those 4, that's fine, but subconsciously the listener can like have their interest piqued for like a split second so that it still maintains some amount of interest, so that it's not complete background. And it makes it interesting. So anyway, so there's that. Let's move on. Let's go to the B section. Let's just analyze A just one more time to see what other cool things are happening. And then we will do B. Oops, let's turn that down on my end. Hi, I don't understand anything, but I like it. Hey, thanks! No worries. Yeah, so, yeah. This is my time to just like geek the fuck out on music. But I do hope you enjoy. Okay, we established the melody. We have our counter melody. Hi, Ann. Hello. How you doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, so we have our second melody here. Ooh, that sneaky little thing. Oh, God. I'm not gonna go into it, but that's sneaky. Repeats again. Like, very much repeats again. Like, extremely repeats again. Great. Nice, simple, still a little interesting. Now we move on to the B. Classic move. Let's do this right now. All right. So we got the B section. Boop, boop. We are still in E flat. I will mark that just for the fuck of it. All right. Let's see what we got here. B section. Let's do this. Let me guess. A B section in music is gonna go up to the 4, because that's a very common movement in music. Let's see if that happens. Ugh. Too far. Okay. Does it go to the 4? Wow! Okay. Alright. It's doing now. Okay, I see what's happening. Here is another thing that a lot of music does. When composers or songwriters or musicians, whatever, when they're writing a song, the first section usually is, again, establishing how everything works, trying to keep it kind of generally more, I shouldn't say approachable, but like they're laying the foundation. And so it's kind of like, let's ease you in. Usually in the second section, in the B section, at least in game music for sure, there tends to be a movement where you start to get a little weird because you're getting comfortable. So now that you've settled in, now that you're like a little more like, we've laid the foundation for you, don't worry, like we're keeping it nice and easy, we're like chilling out. Once you get comfortable, then composers are like, all right, now let's like, let's try to make this a little more unsettled, and maybe do things that are interesting, that are a little out there, as like a nice like transition. It's all about like going from something relatable and simple into musical interest that piques your ears a little bit. So here we go. This is what we're gonna do. E flat. That's the one. Okay? That's the tonal center. This is the one. This is our home base. We go up to the 4. Very common in B sections to go up to the 4. I have done it thousands of times. So we have, all right? We have A flat. Then it does something really funny. It mimics this passing chord. It mimics this like funny little like transitional chord that just really exists to spice things up a little bit. It mimics it. It does the exact same chord movement. So let's do G flat 7. And what would that be? I guess that would be a flat, a flat 3-7? It's a dominant? I guess? Oh god. Oh no. This is where my music theory B skills are gonna have to come back to me, because I don't remember how to write any of this. Alright, let's see what we got. I won't get too in the weeds because this is more about the overall, but here we go. Okay, got it. That's a very classical progression. That's really interesting. So after we have that 2-chord little situation, right? We go from here, or I should play it. Right? We go from right? We have this. God, I can't wait. I need to install. There's a little plugin. Side note. There's a little plugin where it shows my piano playing. I think I need to do that soon, because I want to show people like what the hell I'm fucking talking about. Okay. Anyway, side note. Now we go from it's a very classical composition, and I just looked at the time and I think I need to speed this up. So I might cut it short. Wow. Are we in church? We got E flat. E flat. Wait, what am I talking about? Nope, that's wrong. Sorry. D flat. D flat. Yep. D flat. E flat. E flat again, technically. Nope. A flat. My bad. A flat. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thousands of flats. Just thousands. Technically, we've trained... Oh, God. This is so convoluted. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna ditch the harmony for now, because I would like to move on to... I earnestly think that the Mii Creation profile has a lot more interesting stuff to talk about from, like, a general compositional thing. Let's do this. Yeah, so again, what the song is doing, and again, I'm just gonna move on quickly because I do want to get to the me part. What the song's doing, it's going outside of the house that we are living in. This is our house. We are now going outside into the forest. Whatever. We're going outside of the key and just being like, oh, that's kind of weird and interesting and cool. That's what's happening. One single glance on the top right, and I abandoned it. Hey, it did the Mario cadence. That's fun. If we are in this key, the Mario cadence is, it's an unofficial chord progression, which is very, very funny. Yeah. Oh, gee, wait, never noticed that. Hell yeah! Yay! Flawless analysis. Let's move on. Because I do really want to get to the Mii Creation profile, because it's sick as hell. Alright, let's do this. I hope y'all enjoyed that whole debacle, but listen, we have some important shit we gotta do here. Bye bye. I think the Mii Creation theme from this game is extremely impressive. I've been playing this game for what, like a month-ish, a month and a half-ish, something like that. The reason why I think it's impressive is because writing a song that loops for hours is extremely difficult. Because naturally... Oh, I should erase the title theme too, huh? Naturally, repetition... People like repetition a lot in music. That's just a fundamental thing. The more you listen to something, the more you're familiar with it, therefore, the more you like it. However... there is a balance, because if you play it too much and the song doesn't have enough musical interest to like maintain longevity, it becomes annoying as fuck. It becomes like, this is overplayed, I can't do this, it's too much, and your brain turns on it. So it's like a very important balance. How many times have you listened to fucking a pop song on the radio and been like, I've heard this 1,000 times, I'm sick of it, it's playing everywhere, I don't want this anymore. And I think the goal of a really, really, really good song that, especially with game music, that loops. Because here's the thing, with pop music or whatever, sure, the ideal in pop music is you want it to be played over and over as much as possible. And that's great, right? But that's a choice. Sometimes it's not a choice. Maybe if you're like working in a, you know, like retail store or something, right? You listen to it. But like generally speaking, even though it's designed to be played over and over and over, compositionally, it ends. The song ends. The song ends after like 3-4 minutes. Game music does not end. Technically, the loop ends the first go around, but like, when you're playing games, you're listening to things over and over and over and over and over again. And there's absolutely nothing worse than a background game soundtrack, a background game song, that you get sick of, because then you just can't turn it off. That tends to happen with a lot of incremental games, actually, where people apparently, I didn't know this, but it makes sense, people will apparently like mute the music and then substitute their own thing because they can't listen to one track for 100 hours. So it's a very, very difficult thing to actually like write something that you can't get tired of. I think after I played the demo, the song was stuck in my head for literal weeks and somehow was not annoying. Yes, 100%. And that's what we're going to break down. Here we go. Let's listen to this. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Yup. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that, the 4 again. That's so funny. Ooh, and then we change key. We're getting a little more adventurous because we've established the foundation. And now suddenly we're in a new key. Yup. Perfect. And then, this is the best part. I love this part. Watch. No transition. It just goes straight into it. And it's doing such like really clever things to make that okay. All right, hold on. I'm getting too ahead of myself. This song rules. I fucking love this song. So, let's analyze the form and get a skeleton so we can start talking about it. Intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, right? That kind of vibe. Okay, so there is an intro. Let's do this. So this isn't a phrase of 8, so we're gonna do, okay, so let's see, what is the intro? I think it's like 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, 4 bars. Let's just do this. Let's get the intro out of the way. 4. 4 measures. 4 measures. All right. Are we ready to count? Let's count, everybody. Let's count. Here we go. Let me actually do that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Hold on. How should we count this? Should it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or should it be 1, 2, 3, 4? Nope, that's wrong. Immediately. I dismiss the theory entirely. The reason why that's wrong is because the song's upbeat. It should be counted in an upbeat manner. It should not be 1. Da, 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 da. It should be right? So it isn't 4/4, it's just kind of upbeat. We're just gonna have to count a decent amount. Wow, it rhymed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Here we go. 1. It repeats again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. B section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeats again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Ooh, okay. It did some tricky little transition stuff. Let's try to figure that out. We're on the second 8, I believe. 5, 6, hello? 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I guess it's just 6. All right, let's just mark that as like a transition thing. There you go. Yay! Perfect. Wunderbar, wunderbar. All right, we have our form. Isn't that exciting? Wow. So, boop. How am I gonna do this? There's so much I want to talk about. Let's do a rough analysis of the harmony, but I really want to talk compositionally about why this works as a track where you can just like listen to it over and over and it doesn't get it doesn't get tiring. Let's do these. Okay. Intro, I believe, is the same as A, so we're just gonna start with A. What key is this in? Let's find out. C! That's fun. Oh my god, dude. I just realized something fucking cool. Ooh. Okay, here we go. C. Wow, that's so cool. Oh, y'all are not ready. I hope. Oh man, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. We start with C. Technically, this is like a sus2 whatever. We're starting with the 1. We are in the key of C. You know what? Actually, for this, I'm going to. Here's what I'm gonna do. Piano. Yay! Here we go. Ah, shitter. Yeah, there. See? Look! Look, it's a piano! Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Wait, no, this sucks. Hold on. hold on. Keyboard. I know you can see this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is the one I used last stream, I think. Yeah, let's do these. Perfect. We love to see it. Let's do this. Oh, Jesus. This is so scuffed. Sorry, everybody. There we are. No! Spoiler! Okay. But we're covering humorous. Excuse me. We're covering humorous. Sure. Nope, doesn't work. Fuck. Let's do this. Hold on. Everyone, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm a professional. Yeah. Man, now that is a professional setup. Yeah. Hell yeah. Wow. Look at that. All right, here we go. Man, I can't wait to talk about this. This is so exciting. I had no idea. Oh, man. Okay, let's do this. Subway Surfers. Anyone have any soap cutting videos that I can add in here? That would be great. All right, here we go. Let's do... Actually, fuck it. Let's just put this all the way up. There. That's much better. There we go. Okay, here we go. We are in the key of C. Key of C. E, F, D, D flat. Here, let's go. Let's start here this time. Let me write this down. So, we start with C. We start at the 1. So it's just a classic C chord. It's in the way. Here we go. That's our 1. Da 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 da. Da na 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 na. So that is, I am gonna say, for the sake of something I'm about to point out, let's just do an F. We go to the 4, right? Let's say our transition chord is a C6. Don't worry what that means. Well, technically it's not a... God, do I really have to do this? E there. Okay. Technically, don't worry about the parentheses. That's for accuracy's sake. Here we go. So we have da na 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 na, down to D minor, which is a minor 2. Da na 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 na. Now that is a B flat, which is a major 7. And then technically it goes up to the B. That is a, that I think we should not put in parentheses, but let's say G over B, right? Which is, oh fuck, how do you write that again? 5, 6? Ugh. Don't worry about it. You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about the inversion. It's a 5. Here we go. And then we go back to C, right? Here's the fucking crazy thing about this chord progression. Remember when we analyzed the title theme? Remember that the chord progression for the title theme was dun 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 1. Please follow along with the harmony. 1 dun 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 F, or 4 dun dun dun. Hold on, let's start again. 1 dun ba dun 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 4 dun 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 dun. 2 dun dun dun. 7 7 technically. Dun 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 dun. So what I am getting at, if we imagine this as like a parenthesis situation, the chord progression for the title theme is the same chord progression starting off as the Mii Creation theme. It is the exact same. Functionally, it's the same. If you take this theme and you sing over the melody, it will be the same, generally speaking, with slight changes. Dun 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 dun. It doesn't work. No, it actually doesn't work. But the chord progressions are the same. That's what matters. And that's fucking sick. The reason why it's so cool is because this is also an extremely important song, and what it's doing is very subtly, again, psychoanalyzing, it's very subtly reusing similar chord progressions so that it feels like it fits within the same world, within the same game. So dun, dun, dun. Same thing. It's doing the same thing. And what's amazing is that when songs or when games do this and it's secret, it makes it so much stronger because you don't realize it. I'm going to pull out another example. An example of something that does this that is absolutely flawless. Has anyone heard of a game called Mario 64? It's a small game. It was on it's a console called the Nintendo 64. I'm fucking around. Obviously everyone knows what this is. But, I'm talking about that the main theme reuses itself multiple times, and people are like, wait, are you serious? That's crazy. Heard of it? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you know, it got, like, a really big boost, 15 years ago or so. I think it was used in, like, other games or something, but anyway. Fucking around. Let's do Bob on Battlefield, which is somewhere. Where are you, actually? Here?
Aldi doesn't pay for cart wranglers, and those savings go to you.
God damn, yeah, is that right? Woohoo!
At Living Spaces,
Living Spaces. Everyone go to Living Spaces and buy a $1,600 couch. Okay, here we go. No, fuck. Where are you? Dire Docks, Leewalatha, Cool Mountain, Haunted House, Merry-Go-Round, Cave Dungeon, Bronze Plant, Power Mario. Motherfucker, am I stupid? Huh? I think I'm dummy. It's not here! Okay, we're gonna do this. Fuck. Bob. We're just gonna talk about the melody right now. Got it? Got the melody? Everyone knows that melody. Listen to this. Same thing. Same melody. Ah, you know what? Let's listen to the slider. Slider theme. Is that the same thing? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Same exact theme. Hey, let's check out the red coin get sound effect. Hello? Hello? Wait, where's... Oh, here you go, there you go. Hey, check that out! It's the same fucking melody. And I distinctly remember when I realized that so much music of this game in particular reincorporated one theme, just used in different ways. It blew my fucking mind. I was like, there's no way. That's insane. That red coin sound effect thing, I was like, are you kidding me? That's part of the melody of the main theme of the song. It was insane. There's a reason why I bring this up, and the reason why is because it's the exact same thing of what's happening right here. Maybe not as, like, intense. I remember when everyone had the same realization about Undertale's OST. Yeah, yes, 100%. That's exactly what it is. And it freaks people out, because they're like, why at the end of the game am I all of a sudden listening to all of these themes and going, holy shit, I'm getting so emotionally attached. I love these themes so much. I feel like I know these themes so much. And the reason why is because you've heard it secretly throughout the entire game, but it's not hammered into you. Like, there's some games, and I mean, I can't think of any examples, and I'm glad I can't because I don't want to shit on anyone. But there are some games where composers try to do that, but they make it too obvious. And so it's just like, oh my god, I get it. We've heard this before. You know what? I'll say a big game that does this. Fucking Kirby Planet Robobot does this. Or Yoshi's, I think, New Island or something like that. That also does this, where it just plays the same melody. in a very similar way the entire game, and you're sick of it at the end. You're like, okay, I get it, ba 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 ba, right? Like you know. But there are ways to make it a lot more subtle, like Undertale, like Mario 64, where you don't even realize that it's the same, but you're taking it in with the same amount of like effectiveness, because it's being used in different ways. It's being used in all of these like creative ways, so that by the end of the game, you're having that emotional reaction naturally. And so, is it as explicit in this song? I don't actually know yet, because I'm kind of like, well, I need to now listen to other other tracks in the game to see if it continues that, if it continues the motif. Anyway, long tangent to say that that's sick as hell. That this it's the same exact chord progression, just changed up a tiny little bit. Here we go. The 4, the 2, the 7. Same chord progression. Changes to 5-1. It does the 2-5-1. Generally, it's the same, right? What a surprise! We go to the 4. Just like every song in the world. Let's do this. This is going to be very tricky because it does modulate, but let's just make this happen. I do think the rest of the game's OST pulls from the Mii Creation music than this does from the intro, but I could also be wrong. Maybe. It's potential. I could imagine that maybe a composer would write a core theme, and maybe this is like one of the core themes that was used, and then from that core theme, everything else happens. I'm not sure. That is a good theory, though, because I could believe it. Let's go to the B. Does some wacky shit. Alright, here we go. Now we're going to talk about modulations. Yay! Isn't that fun? Alright, let's do this. We go to the 4, F. Right? We are in the key of C. We are in the key of C. Here, let me use my cursor. We're in the key of C. Now we go to the F. Very, very common starting new section chord. When you go to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you go to the 4, right? So it goes F, hello, dun 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 dun, bum bum. So technically that's a 5-1, but it's fine. We won't need to get into the details of it. E minor, A minor, right? So that's a minor 3. It's just counting. It's literally all it is. And then it's a minor 6, right? So we got the 4, 4, 3, 6. Then it says, fuck you. I am gonna change. Up to the B flat. We go from A to B flat. And it's weird. Because it comes out of nowhere. There's a few reasons why it doesn't feel super duper weird. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do B flat. Where does it land? I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, A flat. There is a thing, I'm not going to go super deep into this, but in music, there is a thing called a modulation. You are going from one key to another key. That is what it is. So if we are in the key of C, if if we were in the key of C, you can do specific things with certain chords that make it so you can end up here as like your main thing. You can go from here and you can end up here. It completely just depends on how you navigated it. It's very, 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 very much just like a logic puzzle. I think there's some composers feel like harmony in different ways. For me, the reason why I like music so much, and the reason why I like or at least the reason why music is interesting to me is because it's just one big giant logic puzzle. You have to get from going from C, where are we? You have to get from C, which is our tonal center here. That's our home base. And you somehow need to get it to A flat, which is now our new home base. What can we do in between that makes it so that we end up here? And there are so many different ways, like an insane amount of ways to be able to go from C to A flat, right? Like, there are so many different ways you can do that in between. And so what this game does, it just goes fucking haywire with all of these kind of sneaky little jazz changes. I shouldn't say jazz inspired, I suppose. Here we go. Let me prep a little bit here so we can appropriately get things done. Oh, that's too big. Too big. Here we go. Very nice. All right. F. Follow along. E minor, A minor, B flat, C, D flat. I see what's going on. Okay, so that's what happened. Here's what happened. This is the most like nitpicky, but you know what? It's interesting. That's what we're gonna do. So, if you look here at my gorgeous piano thing here, where you can see my screen scratching the A. Ooh, it feels good. We have A. We end with A, right? So we have. Oh yeah, that's right. We go to B flat. That's weird. That's kind of like out. It sounds different. It's out of the key. There you go. Right? What we're doing, if you follow the bass line, again, it's just, no one's gonna, it's fine. All right, let's do B flat, C, D flat, E flat, 7, it's a dominant, to transition into our target chord, A flat. We made it! Yay, A flat. So we have, if we're thinking about this from, oh god, how are we gonna think about this from a critical analysis, or harmonic analysis perspective? Alright, let's do A flat. You know what, I'm just gonna be sloppy about it. That's okay. 3, 4, 5, 7, and then we have our 1. Yay! Our new 1! This is our new 1! This was our 1 before. Now we have a new 1. Isn't that fun? Okay, now let's do this. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get into like the crazy super duper specifics about it, but the reason why it's cool is because it's a harmonic change that is very smooth. You kind of like buckle initially when that B flat comes in, right? Like when, so now F, right? We're doing F, E, or E, A, and then you go, whoa, that's different, that's new. C, oh, it's still kind of weird and different. Oh wow, now we have our new center, A flat. So if you look at the form, right? We were in A, where C was our thing. B was explicitly used to transition, right? B was used as a transition. C is our second main section, right? You can't see me, but I'm doing the quotes. Main section. And that is sick as hell, because it basically allows for, how do I describe this? It allows for a new section without sounding super, super jarring. If this B section didn't exist, going from A to C would feel really, really, really weird and off. It would be like you're listening to another song entirely. But because of this B section, which is the only purpose of this B section is to connect these two, like literally that's what it is doing, right? It's connecting these two. This is like number 1, this is number 2, this is our transition. You know what I'm saying? So if B didn't exist, it would be really weird and sound like a different song. B exists, therefore it's smooth as butter. We go to C. Woo! I don't know if you can hear that. Yup. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of chords. I don't know if I'm gonna write all that down. Here, I'll do like a general analysis of it. So just to kind of see, we are now in the key of A flat. Isn't that fun? Okay, we start with our 1 because of course we do. Start with our 1. A, that is G flat, which is our major 7. Then we go to our 4, which is a D flat. We go to E flat, which is our 5. Which is, this is F, which is a, oh my god. You know what? Oh yeah, so F minor, D flat, a bunch of chords in between that are fancy schmancy, E flat. 5, and then we have, oh, can I fit it? A flat. What? Yes, we can. Yay. Wow. You know, don't you look at this entire sheet and go, I immediately understand everything. Wow, look at that. I immediately understand what's happening right now. That's really funny. So this is a whole mess. But the point of writing all of this is really just, you know, we're getting into the, you know, the weeds of the C section. But overall, ignore all of this. If we're talking generally speaking, which I am gonna do now because I think we're gonna like transition. Not really, but I'm enjoying the ride nonetheless. No, I know. I that was a joke because this is all like insane. This is all like music stuff. But I'm gonna talk generally about the flow of a track and why this works as something that loops. So we've gotten into the nitty-gritty harmony stuff, and don't worry about it. But let's say we just focus initially on... Can I zoom in? How do I zoom in? Here. There you go. Oh, I can do this right here. Let's do this. Come on. Right? Let's just focus on the form here, right? I need to show you why this works as a looping thing. That's really my main ultimate goal. We're going to play this all the way from again, and I'm going to comment on it while it's happening. We have our intro to establish what's happening, okay? We have our A section, right here. It's very simple, very approachable, very accessible. Kind of has some interesting musical interest, little secret stuff here and there, but ultimately, it's very easy to listen to, right? We are in A, it repeats so that you get familiar with it. That's our first main section. Next, this is our B section. This is our transition. This kind of, it's doing the sneaky work of stitching together two main sections. Here we go, our next main section. Very different than A, but uses a lot of the same, sorry, I'm gonna pause it now. No, I'm not gonna pause it. It's very different from A, but it uses the same harmony, or instrumentation, style, the drums don't change, like, there's enough commonality so it's not completely a different song, right? We have C, and then we have this little breakdown section at the very end to give the listener a break, and then we go back to the intro to transition back into A. The reason why this works as a looping section is because it is doing a very delicate balance of, like, pacing. I think it's really hard in music to get pacing right. In my own music that I've written, I have worked extremely hard sometimes on tracks just to make sure that the timing of everything feels right. Like, if you imagine a song, like a typical song with a verse, chorus, like that kind of stuff. If a verse is way too short, it feels weird. If a verse goes on forever, that feels weird. You need to make sure that things are appropriately timed so that you can kind of get accustomed to something, and then you go into this, and that's kind of new, but then you're getting kind of familiar with that. And I think this song does it really brilliantly because it's balancing main interesting sections, hummable sections, if you will, right? Then it's like, okay, it's still familiar, this B section, it's still familiar, but we're transitioning it to something different. Then we have our second main section. Okay, now we're getting more familiar with this again, blah, 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 blah. And then we transition again out of it into A. So it works as a looping track because it feels like you're always listening to something new, even though it's technically one track. It's a little convoluted to talk about just because flow and form and all that good stuff. It's like it's abstract. It's abstract for a reason. But I think it does it really, really brilliantly. Yeah. And it even does that, like, percussive breakdown. That's something I literally used, like, 2 weeks ago when I released a track. This one here. Because, okay, I'm going to draw one more thing here. Hold on. Let's do... Uh-oh, what am I doing? Zoom out, please. Thank you. Actually, we might even... Alright. Now, as much work as this was... Sorry, but we are going to erase it. No, don't worry. It's on stream. Okay, here we go. Let's just do that. Like, if we're talking about... Wow, that was horrible. There you go. Line. There you go. Excitement. Time. If we're starting, we're gonna plot this out. Here we go. We're here. We're now at the A section. It's interesting. Intro. A. Right? It's gonna stay like this forever. It's like a very whole thing. Oh shit! Hi! Hi, Flower. I'm just talking about flow right now. Don't worry about it. We get to the B section. It's kinda weird. I'll say like this situation. You're like, I don't know what's going on. And because of how good the transition section is, it goes up to here. Because you're like, oh shit! We're in a new key, we have a new melody. How exciting. wow, this is so exciting. I can't wait. This is amazing. Blah, 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 blah. And it like goes on for a while, right? Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. God, I love this track. Okay, so now we're reaching the end of C, and now the excitement's like, oh, okay, we're good. Now we get to have a little break a little bit. This is our transition again. And then we go back to the intro right here. So generally speaking, the flow of this track is going like this. Whoop, and then whoop, and then whoop, and then whoop, and then whoop, 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 whoop. So it is constantly going up and down in terms of your ear perking up. Because if you imagine, if this Mii Creation track was just the A section, you would get bored of it so fast. If it was just the C section, you would get bored of it so fast. But they both retain its effectiveness because they're together. And they're stapled by really important transitionary aspects that make A and C related. Things like the drums, the percussion. The percussion stays the same the entire time. That is like, if you're building a house, that is the true foundation. The drums are so steady and so familiar the entire time. And a lot of times drums do have that function where it's just like, the only purpose is to just like get everyone's shoulders relaxed and be like, okay, things are fine. If the drums changed in C, like drastically, it would be kind of jarring. It'd be kind of weird. It'd be kind of like, oh God, what the fuck is going on? And so it's a cool thing. It's a really, really cool thing. I think this track is very well composed, very, very clever, in all of the tiny little things it does. I love it. And I think that's it. For this track, at least. Yeah, I think what's really funny is that I could actually go even deeper in terms of just like the tiny little details that make the track so smooth and flow so well. But, you know, do I want to spend another hour on this? Probably not. I want to move on to other tracks. Here we go. So, we have the Mii Creation profile. That's cool. But I would like to analyze the thing that I have posted in my initial Blue Sky / Twitter thing, which is the music tracks. And I don't mean like the soundtrack, I mean literally the CDs, the albums. So in the game, and you know, obviously Animal Crossing does this as well. Here it is. So in the game, there are albums that you can get and you can listen to. So yeah, again, KK Slider in Animal Crossing is a great example of this. I don't know, these are going to be very quick pieces of analysis, but I am just really curious because I actually haven't heard all of these except the Dancey album, and I think the Jazz one time because I was curious. So we're just going to go through and see like what it's doing and how it is living up to its name, how it like lives up to its stylistic tendencies. So this is a speed round. Speed round. Here we go. Rock and roll. Here, let's get rid of Hugh Morris. Oops. And let's draw rock. Yeah. Here we go. Let's analyze this. I have not heard this, so let's see what happens. I'm assuming these are going to be pretty like chill. Or what I mean by that is these are going to be pretty simple. Because it's only meant for a specific thing, but let's see.
Hey Meta.
Hey Meta.
You're gorgeous.
What?
Thank you.
Okay.
So yummy.
Ooh! Oh, advertising just worked on me. I want these like right now. Damn. Here we go. Let's turn it up a bit. Hell yeah. Oh, is that it? Interesting. Okay, so with these albums specifically, with Tomodachi Life, again, this is like a super speed round or whatever. With these albums, I've noticed they don't have a melody, which is really weird. So again, super duper simple, right? Super duper simple, right? And obviously it's got all the kind of trappings, or not trappings, but like all the you know, it's rock and roll, right? You have the crazy crashes everywhere with like the drums that are super prominent. You have the electric guitar. The like kind of like fifths that guitar players do often. Oh. Blah. Right? That kind of thing. Interesting. Alright, let's move on to... Wait, what? Why didn't it... Oh, here we go. T&C album. You know what? We're just gonna do... Here's what we're gonna do. Fucking... Let's do this. Albums. Wow. There you go. Alright, T&C album. Let's do this. Ooh, yeah, I've heard this before. Got it. EDM. Got that thumping four on the floor kind of thing going on. Oh shit. Ooh. Oh, come on, dude. Damn, I want a non-muffled version of this, like, ASAP. Oh, I want it so bad. Are you kidding me? That's sick as hell. Do you know what it just did? It just did, hold on, I need to listen to it again. And then it transitions into its main thing. How cool! Oh, that's so cool! Wow, okay, that's my favorite so far. So yeah, that's like EDM production, again, that got that super, like, you know, that kick, that boom, 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 four on the floor, sidechain that shit, hell yeah. Okay, great. Now, let's listen to the video game soundtrack and see how that feels. Now, what kind of video game soundtrack are we talking about? Are we talking about, like, 8-bit? I assume, because that's usually what I think a lot of people think with video game soundtracks. Let's see.
With Purdue Global, education fits your life.
I agree with this.
So being a mom and a student would look like...
Okay. It's 8-bit, but it's like modern. I wouldn't say 8-bit. 16-bit maybe. Hell yeah. Okay. Simple. Yeah, chiptune's a better word. It's beeps and boops. it's like when everybody like when lay people are like, video game music nowadays, like it's like a news program, video game music nowadays is more than just beeps and boops. It has a whole life of its own. Cut to epic orchestral arrangements of the Mario theme. And I'm like, aha. Yeah. No, for sure. That's, yeah, we have come a long way, haven't we? So, but pretty cool. This is pretty good. This feels pretty accurate. Anyway, very cool. Children's album. What the hell is this? What the hell? Children? 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 Okay. I mean, that's definitely like a samba vibe. You know, but children? Hey kids, let's dance. I mean, sure, why not? Dum ba bum 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 ba da ba dum dum. Right? Interesting. Again, that classic like piano, the like. Right? That super classic thing. Okay, interesting. Children's album. Alright, fine. Classical. What classical? Please, Debussy. Please, Giorgio Ligeti. Nope. We got Mozart. What a surprise. Interesting. Okay. Alright, they're doing some pretty decent pastiches here. I wish there was more melody. I think what would have been really cool is if there was one consistent melody that like spans through all of the albums specifically as a form of like cohesion. That would be really cool, but that's okay. Okay, great. I'm so biased. I'm not like a early classical person at all, so unfortunately, you know, it doesn't light up my brain, sadly. Jazz.
At a time when the price of tools...
Wow, price of tools. Man, I want to go to the fucking whatever. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So this is classic, like, again, very traditional jazz. I think most of these, other than maybe the EDM album, which was surprisingly, like, musically, like, whoa, that's interesting. All of these are doing what KK Slider does, which is doing appropriate, like, you know, imitations of specific styles. And, I mean, he's doing a good job. It sounds exactly like what it's supposed to, but it doesn't have a melody. Where's that sax, you know? I want that sax. Alright? Like, I want... Ugh. It's fine. So far, the piano's just comping with a walking bass in the upright. That's okay. Boo. No sax. Reggae. Here we go. I would not say this is reggae. That's... Oh, hold on. We have a guitar? Electric guitar? Oh, reggaeton. Okay, yeah, you're right. I can see that. I mean, my initial instinct for reggae is... Yeah, like... fucking... Oh, I can't do it, because I don't. I'm not familiar enough. But, like, reggae is, yeah, reggaeton. Reggaeton feels right. Too white. This was in Japan, so I might... yeah, it's okay. I guess that works. Okay, that's fine. Poppy. Okay, this is, Japanese pop, specifically. Yeah. Us Americans have a different style, specifically, of pop music. Ooh! Okay, I'm not mad at this one either. This one's cool. Just because it has extensions and jazz chords and all that good stuff. Alright, Lively album. The last one. Oh, okay. Spanish. I think it's Spanish. What's the cover? Is it Spanish? Oh god. I don't know. No, not Spanish. The castanets, like, give it a clue for me. Well, I'm into it, regardless. Okay, the only one that I really am a little suspicious about is the classical album, just because I'm a hater against Mozart. But outside of that, I do think these do a pretty good job with capturing the vibe and the style of what they're going for. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Personally, love the music that plays when two Miis that were friends don't get along anymore and they get depressed. Oh, is that the one where it's like... Dun, 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 dun. The other instruments don't sound very Spanish. Yeah, this is where my my limitations come into play with music in general, because unfortunately I am in America, and it's hard sometimes to extend outside. It feels like very mixed cultural, actually. I could believe it. So that was that. I think I'd like to do one more. There's photo. Hold on. Let me look. What we got?
You don't pay
Jesus.
big brand mark.
See, here's the thing. I could use my account, but like, I just am not signed in. Confession music? Let's listen to that then. Yeah, let's listen to that then. Love Confession. Where is that? How do we do this? Let's see. It should be... Oh, here we go. Confession. Yeah, what are we talking about? Is it this one? Romantic? No, not this one. Which one? Help me out, y'all. The Confession. Is it this one? This one, right? Oh, yeah. Yes, dude. You know what? Fine. Let's analyze it. Let's make it happen. Let's do it right now. Let's see. Let's do... Here we go. Yay. Let's put that in the corner. The love theme. Let's do it. Whoa. Confession. Here we go. Kind of silly to do form, isn't it? Let's not do form and let's just skip straight to harmony. Boop. Let's analyze it. It's go time. Here we go. Already, well, see, this is biased because I'm basically just, you know what? I'm basically just going to be transcribing this entire thing. So it's, I think that's what it is. It's a C minor. Where is my piano? God damn it. Here we are. Okay. Okay, so we got C minor 7. C minor 7. I assume it goes to E, because that's what I'm hearing, but let's listen. It's doing that kind of thing. It then does an octave. Right? It does an octave. So there's more room for the strings to build in and then for it to go down in terms of contour. So we go from C minor 7 to E major 7, which is weird. And very modern and contemporary. E major 7. Okay. That's just the worst E ever. Let's try to not... Yeah. Better 7. There you go. Here we go. Let's keep going. I believe that's what it is. That's what it is. So I'm gonna say that is also E major 7, but just instead of the 5th right there, instead of this, it is that. And that's just to reiterate the really, really, really pretty chord. Because if it went something like... Hold on. That would be nice, but like... That really like gives it a little bit of like... like... We're like... Wait, what's going on? Found it. So the failed reunion track is the one I was talking about. Another great one is Heartbreak Getting Dumped. They're so good. OMG. Alright. Fuck it. I'm energized. I can, let's do it. Why not? Let's analyze those. Let's keep going. Yay! Then we go to a flat major. Actually, it's just A flat, so I'm just gonna do that. So we're going from da 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 da. Now, if you notice, the bass is going. They're going up major thirds, and the reason why it sounds so pretty is because, first of all, if you jump up a minor third or a major third in terms of chord progressions, it is really weird and it can work. It's very contemporary specifically sounding. So if you add some like pretty chords right on top of it, if you do like it freaks you out, but not in a way that completely like what's going on. It's pretty. Right? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Buh. D flat. D flat. No. Wait. Yes. Yes. Correct. Over F. Nope. Over F. Hello? Oh, there you go. It just goes up a whole step. So it just goes up a whole step. Yeah. It's really cool. It is really cool. I think ultimately the goal of this track from like a compositional standpoint, again, is just make it lush, make it pretty. This is an intimate, tender moment. All that good stuff. All right. Next. What are we doing? Failed reunion. Do I know this? Failed reunion. But do I type it in? I'm just gonna type it in. But failed reunion? Here it is. I would love to help YouTube. Which one of these stores would you consider shopping at? Home Depot. Oh, Jesus Christ, sorry. Here we go. I remember this. I was trying to be like, where have I heard this from? Like, Ryan, you've heard this from Tomodachi Life. Hell yeah. Oh man, this is a minor oompa. This is such a goofy song. So yeah, I mean, this is just a like a oompa adjacent. Whatever, that kind of thing, right? Also unrelated, one thing I love is that the divorcee music, Divorce B, in this game has been in every single installment, Collection, Tomodachi Life, and Living the Dream. Oh, really? I didn't know that. See, that's another thing, too. I am familiar with Collection and Tomodachi Life. I've listened to the soundtracks, but they're not ingrained because I didn't grow up with the series in general. And so that's really interesting, actually. I had no idea. So yeah, failed reunion. It's a minor oompa. I haven't had a divorce yet. Hey, you know what? Me either. And I hope me and Legoshi live a very, very happy, fulfilling life. And that doesn't need to happen. Heartbreak. Let's see what this is about. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. Have I listened to the Reserved Personality song? Yes, because I am a reserved personality, so I have listened to it quite a bit because that is who I am. Heartbreaked. Let's listen to this. No, bye-bye. Man, they love this chord. Hello? Oh. Very pretty. Man, that is one of... I love that chord so much. So if we're going from C, we're doing... Or maybe let's do... what's the best... Okay, from E. I would argue that Tomodachi Life... this particular soundtrack uses this kind of chord a lot. But I would also argue... and this is perhaps my own familiarity coming in, a lot of Nintendo music, especially like Wii era music, system music specifically, uses this chord. And I think the reason why they use this chord is because of how open it feels. This chord specifically accomplishes a lot of different things at one time. Number one, it's open. Number two, it's lush. And number three, it's simple. That's bizarre. I wouldn't say simple. I would say maybe just like suggestible. which is completely an unrelated emotion. Regardless, frankly, if you just use this chord, which is E, so it's E. Here, let me just show you. E. I need to download that plugin. E, C, D, G. What it really is, it's just a C major chord. But there's this thing called inversions. If you take a C major chord, you put the bottom note on the top, that's a first inversion. If you take this chord, you put the bottom on the top, that's a second inversion. You put the bottom on the top, we're back to the beginning. So this is a first inversion chord, which basically has the same amount of like harmonic meaning, but it's just like phrased in a different way, and it adds different flavor. So that's what this is doing. We put this down here. So this is really all it is. However, you add this sexy little D in there, then you get here, and then you also get here. I'm like, what the heck? How cool is that? We have two things that are happening at one time, and that's why it's really cool. No, I'm taking lessons right now, and we went over exactly this is it. Oh wait, really? Oh cool! Yay! Inversions are fun. Have you gotten to slash chords yet? Because that's what that is too. Right? Anyway. I want to Hey, shout out Leonard Bernstein. What else we got? What else have we suggested in said chat? Where is it? Oh, reserved. Let's look at how reserved is. Let's just do this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Reserved music. There we go. Ugh. Here we go. Hell yeah. Brainy as hell. IDM coded. It's in C? Uh-huh. Ooh, the percussion is everything on this track. The drums are everything. Yep. As expected, the reserved personality, the music for this is incredibly angular and very all that good stuff. Self-taught for 6 years now, so I want to... Oh my god, wait, that's so cool! Cookie, hell yeah. That's really, really cool. Only now am I starting to learn how to resheet music. Oh, hell yes! I hope you're having fun. I do hope you're having fun. I think, like, there's nothing worse than, like, feeling like you have to learn something out of obligation. Like, learning music and even learning how to read sheet music, it can be so fun. Hold on, give me a second. Let me check something real quick. I noticed something in the corner of my eye. Please hold one quick moment. Okay, there you go. Having fun, thanks. I get that feeling forced when there's no pressure. 100%. The best way to learn is through experimentation and enjoying yourself. I think some of the best things that my piano teacher ever taught me was we would be learning a song. I don't know, some fucking random, like... Yeah. Whatever. Point is, we would learn a song, and I would play a wrong chord. Instead of doing this, I'd do this. And then I would judge that. I'd be like, fuck. I fucked that. I fucked the song up. And then my piano teacher would pause and be like, wait, what chord is that? That's really interesting. That's really, really cool. And so, yeah, it's like a really, it's a cool little thing. Because then we learned that mistakes are not mistakes, they are opportunities. Hey, to learn some more. Anyway, moving back to... Oh, wait, what's going on? that I wanted to do like video game music, which helped me get into it. And literally same. My piano teacher did the exact same song. I said, I want to learn the Animal Crossing theme, and he was like, all right, find the sheet music and let's learn it. He did the exact same thing. So, relate very deeply. Personality reserved. Yeah, so this is a very angular song. I think the reason why it works for this specific personality is because it is so, like, syncopated, and there's, like, a million different things in terms of how the percussion's moving and all of this kind of stuff. That little... what is it? Or whatever, that kind of thing. Oh, it's so good. The pitch bend. Wow. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are past 2 hours, so I think we're gonna do one more song, and then I think we're gonna call it. I would like to do. It's like a bunch of UI sound effects just bundled together. Yeah, I mean, and it works beautifully. I think... Hold on, let me look. Let me see what's one more song that from this game that I want to give a shot here. Let's do... Fashion Show's pretty good. Mii News. Mii Maker, we already did that. Iron Center Quick Build. Pawn Shop. Let's just do this.
Finish college.
Let's do this one. Yeah. I tricked y'all! We're analyzing Brazilian bossa nova music! Yay! Alright. Let's figure this out. This is called the what again? T&C. Get it? Here we go. How do I draw an ampersand? Good enough. I hate how that looks. How about this? There you go. Reno. Wonderful. Let's do... There you go. Perfect. Yay. House hunting. All right, let's do the form. Let's see these. Can you do the clothing store? Which one is that one? I might be able to do both. Both are pretty simple, I would argue. Okay. It does have an intro, but I'm just not going to count it because it doesn't really matter. Let's do a... Here we go. One. Oh, whoops. Oh, Jesus Christ. Whoa! Hold on. Everything's out of whack. Let's do these. Let me also make sure that everything's good. Yeah. All right. Let's count together, shall we? Here we go. Let's begin. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, repeats. 2, changes it up at the end. 3, 4. A prime. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is an outro? I think that was 2. Was that 2? Or was that 4? No, that was 4. There you go. Easy peasy. Wunderbar, wunderbar. Harmony time. This should be fairly simple. So Bossa Nova, Brazilian Bossa Nova, does tend to have a lot of, what do you call it? Standard harmonic moves, and I think this is doing that. It has a little quirky energy because, of course, it's Tomodachi life. It needs to have, it needs to inject itself with some quirkiness. I would just love it if there was a green park bench here. The blah blah sounds. You know what? If we talk about the sounds, I will say a lot of the sounds that are used in this game are lovingly, like, how do you call it? Modern retro. Like a lot of like Wii sampler instruments are used with a lot of this. And then mixed with like more modern shit in general, but most of the instruments are extremely simple. The blah blah gives a maximum quirk 1000%. Well, it's not just to make it quirky either, it's also to give it cohesion to the rest of the sound of the soundtrack, right? Like, the whole soundtrack, the whole game already is just so ridiculous and so like, right? That kind of thing. And so like, to make anything really standard would be completely not aligning with the core of the entire game's personality whatsoever. Yeah, it fits 100% naturally. The harmony is really not the point of this one in particular, but we'll just do it, just for funsies. We are in the key of D, baby! Wow, this is gonna be so easy. 2, 5, 2, 5, 1. Wow. The jazz of it all. And then it changes again. It's so consistent. Like, of all of the tracks, like the mainline tracks that we've done today, it's consistent. The A establishes the thing, the B makes it weird, and that's a good thing. That keeps things interesting. So we have we're in D. Let's write it real quick, because this is an easy peasy one. I'm just gonna knock it out. A. E minor. We are in the key of D major. So, we're starting with the 2, the minor 2. Oops. 7, which is a dominant. That is a 5. Down to the 1. D major, which is the 1. And this just kind of like repeats a bunch. And then we go to the D, right? Right? That kind of vibe. And then we go to something real fucking crazy. Whoa, crazy girl over here. Whoa. Perfect. All right. This song is doing a little thing that I like to call chord planing. What is chord planing? Let me tell you. First of all, we're going to do B. B section. We have C. Okay, that's the chord. What this chord actually is, and this is going to be a little wacky. It's actually a dominant. We have that third, right? The 1, the major third, and the 7. That's a dominant chord. Instead of this 3, we go up so that it's a 4. And it creates a much more open 5. And so that is known... Oh boy. I think it's known as... I flip-flop between the two. It's either a sus4-7, a 7 sus4, or it's a slash chord. For the sake of, I'll just do a slash chord. So that's a B flat over C. And literally what the song was doing was just like hopping around. Again, it's a very modern, contemporary move to just hop around and not worry about, like, any traditional chord progression whatsoever, but, right, you can just do... You've absolutely heard this, like, in a million games. Games love using, like, open 7 chords like this, right? Right? This kind of vibe. I don't know. Yeah, it just hops around. This literally, it just does this, and then it either goes up or down. And then it transitions back into the A section. So, easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Alright, final one. Final round. Clothing store. It's clothing time. Let's do it. And after this will actually be the last one, because I gotta go, y'all. You know what? Can we give a shout out to clothing? I would like to say that I love clothes. Because if we didn't have clothes, we would all be naked. Am I right, ladies? I love the 5 notes of this song in the order. Let's hear it. Yeah! So again, very simple. The 5. 4-1, I mean. Ba 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 ba. It's a great moment. It's such a nice like punctuation at the end. There's also this one too. Again, break out of the key. And then we're back to our original key. Okay, let's do a fast and quick analysis because we've been doing a lot and I'm ready. All right, let's do this. Clothing. All right. Yeah. Clothing store. Form time. It's fall time. No intro. Damn, brutal. Van Gogh would be proud. I'm better than Van Gogh, frankly. Remembers the Starry Night? Check this shit out. He can't do that shit. He's dead. He can never draw Kirby like I can. Okay. Moving on. Form! Let's do this! Here we go. No! I forgot. I need numbers. Numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. B section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to A. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C? Where's this B? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Repeats. With a little bit of an intro, which is fine. Actually, we should mark that. I think 4 or 8. I think it was 8. Now, is this B or C? Let's look. It is different. Okay. Noted, noted. Uh-oh. Whoops, didn't need to do that. There you go. Be gone, fake bee. Perfect. Yahoo! Okay, let's do some rough harmony. Thank you! You know what's funny too about this is whenever I do like, you know, this musical analysis specifically started with a project that I like did along, you know, well, kind of now technically, but it was called TAC, and I would do this exact thing with a random song, but I wouldn't just stop at form and harmony. After form and harmony, I would do melody, I would do instrumentation, I would do drums, I would do bass, and I would basically completely break it down and just really try to like figure it out, you know. Oh, hi Toku. Oh, I think I found out about you through the tech project actually. Oh, hell yeah. Yay. Oh, good. Yeah, and so like I used to do really in-depth stuff, and I still could, but it just takes a long time. It takes like what, hour or two or so for one song. And for the sake of like the stream, you know, it's like, do I really want to spend like 2 hours breaking down a song? Well, hey, guess what? I did, because I did that literally like 2 weeks ago. But that was my own track. That doesn't count, right? But yeah, so I could break it down further, but for the sake of simplicity, I think I'm just gonna do like a rough. I have been doing like a rough analysis of like all of these, but you know, it's just a fun little thing. So this should be pretty easy actually. So I'm pretty sure it's just 2 chords. So let's do this. Oh, hello. Oh. E major, baby. E to D. That's all it is. B. Once again, why don't you guess what chord is gonna come right at the start of B? If this is the one, is it maybe the 4? Yeah, and got it. It's the 4. Oh god. Like when you start listening to music and you start like kind of getting accustomed to how music works on like a songwriting fundamental like harmonic way, you start to see patterns, and guess what pattern is always fun to point out? You go to B section, you start with a 4. There's the 4, baby. There's the 1. 4. 1. We go to the C. Yay! Yep, so we have the 4 here. That is an A. I think I might actually just stop at this B section. I don't think I'm going to go to the C section because it is getting a little late for me. I do want to get some work done. We got the A going down to the E as per usual, right? So if we have the 1 and we have the major 7, then this is the 4. Whoops, 4. Is that big enough? The 4! Everyone loves the 4! The A, and then the E, which is the 1. Yahoo! A, E, and then we go down to the C. Now that is crazy. Oh, there's wacky shit. That is a flat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Instead of doing what is in the key, right? We do E major, and then we go down like that. That's in the key. No, instead we're doing this. That's wacky shit. So that is a flat major 6. And then it does a whole bunch of stuff, and it basically goes to the 5. That is my extremely quick and rough harmonic analysis of the A and B section of this particular song. Yay, we're done! Nice and fast. Easy peasy. Alright, where is my Picklopedia? Alright. Actually, no. Bonus round. I'm not going to analyze it, but I just want to listen to it. The original composer of Tomodachi Collection, I think one of two, Daisuke Shiba, did a song that is killer. Peter Piper English DS. If you have not heard this song, please prepare yourself, because it's very cool and very fun and very funny. Here we go. This is from a game called English Training. It was initially, I think it was released in Japan for learning how to speak English. But this is the title theme. Oh wait, is this the song I think it is? If this is the song you think it is, it's the song you think it is. Get ready. Here we go. Oh wait, ad. Just kidding. eBay. Everyone go to eBay. Support local company. Support mom and pop stores like eBay. Here we go. Blech. Yup. What is a peck? Is that like a bunch? I'm just gonna draw a barrel. Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? I might be off because of the lag or whatever, but killer song. Absolutely killer song. And they made a sequel to this. Betty Botter. They made a sequel. Let's listen together. Yup. All right, y'all. That's the stream. All right. Yeah, that's the music analysis stream. Hoped everyone enjoyed that. This was really fun, and I'm very, very happy about how this went. Next stream, I want to let y'all know. Next stream, I think I will be doing Tomodachi Life again, potentially. I am a hater of Pokopia, unfortunately now. Not really, but I just I'm more interested in Tomodachi currently. But I think we're gonna be doing that. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. Next week for music stream, I might, instead of an analysis stream, I might do a composition stream. Yeah, it's gonna be, we'll see what happens. If I see it, I'll try and join the stream. Yay! Oh, good. I'm glad. Do you have a Discord? No way! I am a total beginner, babby at streaming. Maybe contact me in a year or something, and potentially. But for now, I'm just getting... we're just getting this show on the road real quick. But yeah, so... I mean, frankly, my main goal, if I'm being meta about it, is I would like to get to affiliate. That would be nice, because then I can... there's a lot more things that I feel comfortable doing. But until we get to that point, that shit ain't happening, so... Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, next music stream might be a composition stream. I am not sure yet. I have some ideas in terms of what to do, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, alrighty. That, I think, will be it. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I really, really appreciate it. This was very fun. And I will see y'all either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Whatever y'all can make. Bye-bye.